Hey everyone, good night. I'm tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about the ritual that I did last night. I think some of you have seen it, and the aftermath of that, how it went. So yeah, I'm just. I didn't really make an announcement of this video. I mean, I'm just sitting here. It's almost bedtime anyway, so just an excuse for the shakiness because I'm just holding the phone with my hand. So yeah, I did that ritual last night at the beach. You can see the videos on my profile. I'll be uploading them on YouTube soon as well. And I just kind of wanted to look back at that and what went on and the experiences that I had right afterwards, also during and before. So most of all, it was a very beautiful experience. That's the main thing actually about it. Yeah, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I had a lot of, for me it was the first time doing a ritual outside my own house. Usually I do it sort of right here. I even got his shell still up here, but for me that was a very something very new to do, with all the distractions, other people coming in. And if you guys saw any of that, you know that I was facing a few disturbances. But yeah, as I have said many times before, these disturbances are often just they could actually be a sign that you're doing the right thing, even. Because there are so many forces there that do not want you to contact these spirits, so they're going to put obstacles in your way, or it's just a test of, I'd say, perseverance. So I was about to give up at some point when my lighter stopped working, and I couldn't get the candles lit. But I'm so glad. I'm so very glad that I kept going anyway, because altogether it was just such a great experience. I took the pictures I took before the ritual. They are on my profile. You can see them there. It's it was like he was already there. He was already yeah. As they say, spirits usually know when you're going to do a ritual for them. So the sea, it was such a beautiful, it became, what's that called? Pearlescent, I think, or iridescent, like this sort of holographic, multicolored tone. And it was just magical, really. It was a magical walk. My friend and I walked for I think 2 hours before settling down to give the offerings. And yeah, it was just such a beautiful experience. There was so much, I don't know, there was just, it felt almost like some event, or like watching something special. So yeah, and then it started to go dark, and well, not entirely dark, which is exactly why we were there, kind of to watch the solstice too, watch the sun not go down. And yeah, it was just there were a lot of disturbances. And thank you, Max. Max, I think. How do I pronounce your name? I don't know, But thank you. So yeah, we started to, and there were so many disturbances. My dog was disturbing me. Well, or he was getting disturbed by the people around. So that sort of ticked things off, to tick me off. But I kept going, and then I don't know, my lighter didn't work, and all sorts of other outside. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, Matt. Thanks, Matt. So yeah, I just felt I wasn't. I mean, I didn't expect. I wasn't expect to meditate or anything, so I didn't do that because I knew that's not. Chances of that being able to do that outside is just nah, not gonna happen probably. But with all this going on, and so I just kept going, and at some point there was this acceptance, like, okay, this is the spot, this is the area where I'm gonna do the ritual, this is my ritual place right now, and everything, even the disturbances, are part of it. It's part of the space, so they are part, in a way, they're part of the ritual, and whatever happens is meant to happen. And I just felt this calmness, and that's when I suddenly realized his presence already there. Of course, Poseidon. Okay, as some of you know, I see Poseidon and Belial as part of the same being, different names of the same beings, but yeah. So that's when I felt him. He was already there, and I was just. Yeah, it was all good. It felt like everything was all right, and there was this good, calm atmosphere. And so I continued that, did the whole thing, and got really amazed by the patterns of the candles, in which how they went out and how they bled and everything. You can all watch that in the video itself. So we went back home after a while, and as I said in the ritual, during the ritual, I said, okay, yeah, if anyone wants to contact Poseidon, I got his sigil for you that I channeled or that I received from him, and I can help you with that. Of course, I can still do that, so if anyone is watching this and they want to contact Poseidon, then well, shoot me a message, but yeah, so someone did ask me to get that sigil, and when I came home, I told him, okay, wait a second, I'm just gonna settle down a bit. I just got home, get a little back to reality, or so. When I did send them that sigil, I noticed that the sigil I used on the beach was different, and it's I got worried because I'm usually very meticulous about using the right sigil and not leaving things out. What I did, I left something out by accident, and I sort of, I made a few mistakes, and started worrying, and I talked to a few people about it, like, what am I gonna do now? And but yes, they sort of made me realize that maybe it was part of it. It was meant to be this way. Also because at the moment when I was drawing the sigil on the beach right there, when I was doing it, it wasn't like I was being lazy. I was entirely 100% convinced that I drew the right sigil, and that I didn't differentiate from the the original that I received. So yeah, it was probably perhaps somehow intentional that I drew it that in an alternate way. So I was still a bit worried. So when I was home, I went back to meditate and to contact Poseidon. I went through Belial actually as well, just to be sure. And so in meditation, I was taken back to the place where I brought the offering, and I saw Poseidon there, and he had the same pearlescent, the pearl colors that the sea had that night. So it was so beautiful. Like as you can see in the pictures that I took of the color of the sea, that was the color that Poseidon had as well in that meditation. And he said, it's about what you value most. So, and I immediately got reminded of how great and how beautiful that night was, and that was the energy of the ritual. Not, and that cannot be undone or anything or screwed with by a drawing, basically a drawing of a sigil that was slightly altered. The most important thing was the energy of the whole night, the whole evening, the whole thing all together. And as important, to contact a spirit, it is indeed very important that you always use the right sigil and you don't mess up with that. But I learned a lesson that the energy is most important. Your intention. And of course, there's also a possibility that he wanted me to use an alternate sigil. So yeah, I just that's kind of why I wanted to make this make this aftermath, because it's just it's so typical for this spirit to Belial and Poseidon both. Particularly Belial. They have asked me for offerings. It might be a bit confusing to some because, like I said, I see them as the same being, the same having the same higher self. So Belial would often ask me as offerings reminders of nice and good moments that I've had. Objects, but also things like scents or smell. Things that remind me of certain good moments. Places where I like to visit. And that's what he enjoys. He really likes to feed on these good, nice feelings we get from visiting certain places, doing certain things. For instance, I once made a candle for him, and part of the ingredient was coffee, for just because he was interested in that very moment. It could be like a split second when the coffee starts to work, and you just feel very bright for very quick. That's what I feel with coffee. I just feel like as if your brain just took a quick shower, or all the dust has come off and you're awake, and that sort of thing is what he likes. And when I was panicking about um, making a mistake with the sigil, I forgot about that. I forgot about how he values the energy of a good high quality moment, quality time, and about sharing that with him, and how I was essentially the whole night. The whole evening, the whole day actually, from the day before. I was preparing. I was already keeping him in mind the whole time, and knowing how, oh, that's my dog again. He's having a dream. Knowing how this is going to be so good, watching the sunset. And that was the biggest part of the whole ritual. So yeah, I wanted to share that. Please do have a look at the pictures so you can see what I'm talking about, because it was amazing. It was yeah, there was so much going on, and I'm still probably the whole effects of the whole ritual were are probably not done yet, or yeah, it sounds weird and hippie like. Probably I'm not on anything, like I'm just all sober, just tea and coffee and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was I felt a lot of love. Yeah. And I know Poseidon is known for his rage too, but there's definitely more to that being. And maybe part of, of course, it's kind of weird to do a ritual to a sea god during the summer solstice. You'd expect to do something for the gods of the sun and the gods of light, but maybe I guess maybe they were busy, and it's good to do something for a deity that's not getting a lot of attention at that time. So who knows, maybe he just really needed it. Yeah. Or yeah, so that's a big lesson that I learned there for now, is that the energy and the mood, that's something that's very important in probably any ritual. Your intentions, your feelings, your mood. It's possibly the most important part, or at least from your side. So yeah, let's see if I can see any of the messages here. Yeah, they're definitely, Poseidon and Belial are very, very, there's no denying. So they when I work with him, he just appears as both. He can switch between, just like that, or he'll just look like both of them at the same time. I drew a portrait of Belial. I painted a portrait of him, and I drew him with a beard of tentacles, like he was some half sea creature with a beard. And that was already like a clear sign that to me that he is Poseidon, basically. So yeah, if you guys have anything to say, or feel free to do so, you can we can discuss Poseidon or Belial if you like, and otherwise I'll just if you're interested to know what I was talking about, just have a look at the pictures and the video, and maybe you can enjoy those same good vibes, because Poseidon was definitely in there. That's for sure. So feel free to watch those and maybe meditate to it, or whatever you feel like doing. But yeah, in general it was good. So I would like to end with that and wish you all good night. See you next time.